Hey everyone, we are One Mic Night talking today. Thanks for joining me. I have an exclusive civilian interview. We are talking about what is going on in the state of Israel, Israel and Iran and Gaza. My guest today is a civilian there, and he's giving us the inside scoop. And we also, make sure you stick around to the end, but we get an exclusive insider look at the safe space that they go to during the war. This is One Mic Night. Stick around. Beautiful episode coming up. Hi, everyone, and welcome to One Mic Night, the podcast that brings you stories of artists and people on their journey, helping to guide, answer questions, and motivate you in life and the business. It's Marcos Luis, and I'm back. Season 6 of One Mic Night, 19 years coming up soon. Thank you all for joining me. So stop what you're doing right now. Make sure you subscribe and like this episode. Today, I've got a really, really important episode. We're One Mic Night talking. We're going live inside of Israel to talk to a civilian to give us a better insight as to what's going on. His name is Tal Marcu. Thank you and welcome to One Mic Night. How are you, Tal?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing
New
well.
York?
Yes, I'm in New York. Thank you for joining me and giving us some insight on what's going on. A lot of things happening there, a lot of things across the world, but we want to know what your perspective is. We know that June 13th, there was an attack from Israel to Iran. However, Israel has been in a war before that, so you've got two simultaneous things happening. What's going on?
Okay. There's so many things. It's like 600, I don't remember how many days, 600 and something days, a war in Gaza with still 53 hostages there. And this is like the 9th day of the war with Iran. And everything is connected because it's the same players. It's a very long story. Ask me exactly what you wanted to tell because there's so much around it.
I will say this is the thing that I think a lot of people here in the States don't know, that they are connected. We have some idea as to what's going on, but from what I understand and my perspective, the source of the story is that Israel is attacking because they're trying to get rid of the nuclear arms that Iran has. Iran has been feeding Hamas, has been feeding Hezbollah, has been feeding all these terrorist groups.
Yemen, the Houthi in Yemen.
Yes, exactly. And this is the whole purpose of it, for the safety, not only of your country, but the safety of the world, because we have nuclear activity. And there's been pressure from the world for them to stop their nuclear activity doings. So that seems to be the whole gist of it all.
Yes. I have a short introduction, and you actually gave a nice words before. It's like Iran in 79. Until 79, Iran was one of our friends. I know that the regime there was not really good, right? They had the Shah, and then they had a revolution, and maybe they thought that they are going to a better regime. But from the beginning, it became a fundamentalistic Muslim regime. And ever since then, of course, they are not our friends, not America friends. They shout every day, death to America, death to Israel. Now, all these years, well, the people itself is the one that suffers more than anyone. I think that more than 80% of the people doesn't want them, but they have millions of this, I don't know how to call it, revolution army.
Yeah,
And it's like a
revolutionists.
few
Yeah.
millions, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really hard to make a revolution there. I know that there's a lot of Iranian, and by the way, very nice people. I love Iranian, very nice. All the Iranians I met, like in the States, in exile, very nice people. You probably met them too in New York. They're very
Absolutely.
nice people. They have
Mhm.
a dream that one day they will come to democracy. Anyway, now they don't have rights for women, for LGBT. It's really difficult, but regardless, if we're talking about the war thing, so for 30 years or more than 30 years, they're trying slowly to make a nuclear weapon, because nuclear weapon will ensure that the regime can't be changed. You see what happened in North Korea,
Yes.
which, by the way, also there, everyone thought, oh, they're not close, they're not close, they're not close. Now they have a bomb. No one can, right? No one can. I think they have a bomb, right?
I think, yeah, they've been testing a
Yes.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah, so no one can move it. And the thing is that now it was I think it's a last chance attempt to stop Iran. I have my, how do you say it, my criticism that our government let them to get so close, but it's a long story. I have so much criticism of this government, but anyway, it's important to say for me that the war right now, there is a consensus, right to left, everyone uh, understand that it's a must. Unlike, by the way, on this stage, the war in Gaza, which I think should stop now, this one has a consensus. I think that, maybe it's another subject. I think that most of the people in Israel want the war in Gaza to
No,
stop.
this is a perfect subject. This is exactly what I want to
Okay,
talk about.
okay,
Why do you think it should stop?
okay, okay, okay. The war in Gaza started, in my opinion. Obviously, Hamas is to blame. It did a massacre on the 7th of October, which is a day that none of us will forget. Um, there was a
The
massacre.
world won't forget.
It was horrible. I mean, I remember the day I was going to go to a Bruno Mars concert here in Tel Aviv,
Mhm.
and actually he went. He didn't even say bye. He just took his jet and went away. Not that I can blame him, but anyway, I remember he was not here. Anyway, there was a massacre. Now, for years, the current government, which I oppose just as much as I oppose all the governments around us, and he let them be strong, because Hamas, it's important to say, Hamas is like the fundamental part in politics for the Palestinians. You have the Fatah and you have the Hamas.
Mhm.
Okay? Israel left the Gaza Strip in 2005, I think. And 2 years later, Hamas took over. It just killed the opposite, the Palestinians, the Fatah, and took control
Mhm.
of this. So right now in the Palestinian Authority is the Fatah, which is the less extreme, and actually mostly they fight terror with us, right?
Right.
So that's, I don't say that we don't have conflicts,
Conflict. Yeah.
but we work together to stop terror, right?
Right.
That's the people to talk to,
And that's
unlike
how it should
Hamas.
be. That's how it should be.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
That's
Mhm.
what I think.
Yep.
Now, not that they are saints, but again, it's people you can talk with, right? And Hamas, you can't. It's just like fundamental. It's like Islam, you need to die, right?
Great.
Now, the thing is, for years, instead of making the more moderate people strong, it was good for Bibi Netanyahu and um, to stay like this, that Hamas controls Gaza, and then we say, oh, there's no one to talk to, right? So he he let them be strong as an asset. Like some of his extreme right ministers said, oh, Hamas is an asset. I remember 3 years ago, it's an asset. Instead of making the more moderate people stronger. They let Hamas stay there and strong, and most importantly, they let Qatar,
Mm-hmm.
which is Qatar is like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. For one hand, they have I think they have bases of the states there, but they paid Hamas. They are the patron of Hamas, right? So it's like, by the way, it's funny because now Iran is threatening them too, but Qatar helped this Hamas. So it's like, and I won't go into that. But anyway, for the last few years, Bibi Netanyahu gave Qatar, brings millions and zillions of dollars inside the stripe, which was used to building their army, to prepare for this massacre.
Right.
They have, they have more, I think they have more tunnels than in the metro in New York. Well, maybe not, but everything is like tunnels.
Underground tunnels. Yeah.
Yes.
This is the hard part that they're dealing with. Now, this is the question that people want to know. Is this a war of religion? Is it Jews against Islam?
Well, listen, in the 7th of October, many Muslims and Christians, Arabs were killed. Many of them saved Jews. They didn't care. They actually kidnapped Arabs. They kidnapped Arabs and killed them. They kidnapped Thailand people and killed them. They didn't care. People that were here, they killed them frantically and just hijacked them. It's like, it's crazy. It's important to say that, I blame Netanyahu that everything he let them to be strong, but
To let them
obviously,
flourish. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
but obviously, when it happened, we needed to go to Gaza. But there's two main difference between that and, for example, the one in Iran, because two things. One thing, it's not a country; it's a terror organization. Okay,
Right.
so it's not like a country that can give up. Hamas will never give up. They're like that, Allahu Akbar, So even if you kill more, it will never. They have more people. It doesn't matter,
You're exactly right.
And
They're
if you
an
don't put an
organization.
alternative,
Organization within a country or within a plot of land. So they're trying to find the people, the terrorists within this country.
yes,
That's the problem. And
yes,
as you mentioned before, there's so many intricate tunnels, and even if, they have tunnels in hospitals, they have tunnels in places where civilians are. So how do you exterminate the root cause of the terrorists without the casualties of the civilians? That's the part.
exactly.
Right.
That's something really, painful,
Mm-hmm.
because I know my people. No one wants anyone to get hurt like a civilian. And the thing is, they put the headquarters under masks, under hospitals. You see videos. They took hostages
Exactly.
under hospital, and one of them was killed there. It's like, it's crazy. And I know that a lot of efforts were made not to kill civilians, but I also know that a lot of them died. And I wish that it stopped, but I wish that people will understand that it's not that someone is like just killing civilians without, if someone does that, is a criminal, but
Right.
that's
Yes.
not the official thing, and it's really difficult. But anyway, it's 600 and something days, and on this step where most of the big organizations of Hamas were killed already, all the leaders killed already. The problem is that I think that the war doesn't stop because Bibi Netanyahu doesn't want his government to fall. Now, for me personally, the most important thing is the hostages, to save them.
Right.
And for me, and I'm sorry that I'm using these words, really harsh word, I think that he sacrificed them for his benefit. And I'm sorry that I'm talking like that. And really, I'm really patriotic.
Right.
As everyone here, and the majority of the people in Israel want this war to stop for more than 200, 300 days already. But he knows that his extreme right participants in the government will fall the government. His government is more important for him than the life of the hostages.
Right.
And I can say one last thing. The thing is, the problem is that Hamas, in order to bring all the hostages, insists that the war will be finished. And the problem is that the government didn't find an alternative with the world. There was an alternative, the Palestinian Authority, but they say, no, the Palestinian Authority are the same. They are not the same. They are not angels, but they are not lunatics.
Right.
So you understand what I mean?
Exactly.
And
This is what I was asking. Is it a war of religion? No, it's not, because you have those Palestinians who want, it's a war of terror. It's the terrorists who are causing the problem. It's not just because they're Islamic or, because you're Jewish. It's because of the people who are doing bad and treating people inhumanely and, things like that.
No, but Hamas is a religious driven organization.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it kills anyone, Jewish, Christian, foreigners, anyone. So it is religious.
Okay, so
Hamas
it is religious as far as Hamas.
It is religious, yes.
Okay, I stand corrected, yep.
Okay, no, it's okay. There's so many kind of terrorists, and again, the one that controlled and strengthened them all was Iran. It's like the head of the snake. And the thing is that Iran worked for years on that, and it won for this timing when Israel will attack its nuclear things.
Mm-hmm.
They should have had Hezbollah, Hamas, Houthim, all attacking us together, all. But I don't want to say because it's good luck, but because obviously the massacre was horrible, but because after the massacre and Hezbollah insisted, now there's almost no Hezbollah. You see that they're not sending anything. They're afraid. You see what happened.
Right,
so
yes.
We dealt with Hezbollah, with Hamas. Now they don't have their proxies. Yemen is really like a mosquito. They send one missile every 1 week. That's not something that for us, Israel, is nothing. It's small missile once in a week.
Mm-hmm.
But now they don't have anyone. It's us and the Iranians. And yes.
Is there a fear for you that, everyone, that they'll join together? I mean, do you think that's a fear of the government, that they would all join together? Because Israel is in such a location that all those countries around, and I don't say this to make anyone fearful, but, it's a natural thought.
Actually, I have a good answer for that one. It's important to say, there is a division in Arab states. There are the moderate ones, and I will say the names. It's Egypt and Jordan and the United Arab Emirates. All these ones that we have peace with. And actually, also and Bahrain. And also, you will be surprised, Saudi Arabia. One of the reasons, we almost had peace with Saudi Arabia. Actually, one of the reasons that Hamas did that, because we almost had peace with Saudi Arabia, and actually they stopped that. Because Saudi Arabia, it was enough for them that to join the Abraham Accords, that's the peace that we had with the United Arab Emirates,
mm-hmm.
just to say that in the future, there will be a Palestinian state. That we're not insisting of doing it now. It's almost, have been done, but then they ruined it with the massacre, and now no one, so that stopped. But still, Saudi Arabia is a friend, as you can see, of the United States. I'm not afraid from them. For us, they are like, I don't know if secret friends, but this is not Iran. You understand what I mean? They are from the good side for me.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side, look, it was Iran, of course. It was Gaza, and Hamas is almost gone. It was Syria. But now all the friends of Iran are gone. Now you had the other one. Not that he's a saint. He was he was something like ISIS, but now he's like the leader of Syria, but still, he is not like after us, right? And
Right.
even I think Trump met him. So I'm not afraid from Syria now. Lebanon, amazing. Lebanon, there was the Hezbollah, was really Hezbollah. I was more scared from Hezbollah than from Iran. He had so many missiles, and we hit all these missiles. That was an amazing. I think that the military did amazing job.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They killed Nasrallah, which was the big leader, and now they can. Now in this war, we don't have to be afraid from Lebanon. And actually, the government of Lebanon, which I'm really proud of right now, they said to him, don't intervene. So I'm really hopeful that this country will get off Iran. You see, so now Iran was left almost alone. I think that even Russia and China are just saying, "Oh, we prefer nothing to happen," but they are not really intervening.
They're not
So
intervening. Yeah.
I'm really hopeful. Really, I'm really hopeful. And now we get to something that I'm sure your listeners will be interesting,
Mhm.
because I think I was sure that it will be one of your questions.
Yes.
About USA help.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you want
No,
to
go
ask
ahead.
it or okay?
No, go ahead. I know that
Okay,
go ahead.
okay. So in the last 9 days, Israel bombed a lot of nuclear facilities. Not only nuclear facilities, but also missiles facilities, and especially launchers, because you know that the bottleneck is the launchers. The
Right.
launcher. If you don't have launchers, you can have as much as missiles as you want.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that you understand why they do why we hit the missiles and the lancers,
Of
because that's
course.
the one that comes
That's
every
the one
day.
that comes.
Yes.
So they
Eh,
destroyed about 50% of those.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers are changing between, but still, and a lot of nuclear facilities. By the way, I don't know if you know, but Iran is a huge country. It's like, I think 70 times more than Israel. Don't take my word, but at least 70 times bigger than Israel. It's huge. So it takes days. And I'm really proud of the army. Unlike, in the 7th October, we all said, "How you're so amazing army? How didn't you know? Where was the intelligence?"
Right.
Now, and here they worked on this for dozens of years, right? And I'm really proud. The pilots, by the way, the pilots which Bibi's government attacked 2 years ago, the pilots, obviously, they are educated and smart guys, or most of them were against the government that tried to ruin democracy here, and
Mm-hmm.
we won't let them, by the way. The thing is that now I'm coming to the States. We can hit most of the nuclear buildings in Iran. There is one area which is called Fordow. It's something that is like, I think, 90 meters in the ground. And, well, we can't really hit him.
You can't
The
really
only
hit
one,
that one. Yeah.
the only one in the world that can hit him, it's a B-2 plan, B-2, I think it's called,
Mm-hmm.
with a bomb that only the American has B-2, only the American has this bomb. I think it's 14 ton. It's like, actually, I heard that the Americans made that bomb especially for Fordow at the time,
Right. See,
and
that's
that's
the
the only one.
thing. There's so much stuff that the public does we don't know. And who knew? Who knew? Here's the other thing is
Yes,
Iran said that if the United States gets into this, that they're going to be in trouble also. And we have
yes.
military bases around the Middle East as well. So we have to be careful. And I want you to know that 2 days before this attack happened, President Trump announced that he was going to remove our military people out of that situation. He said he was going to start to bring troops out of there. This is before Israel attacked. So they knew beforehand. They were working together.
Yeah, wait. They had. I didn't remember that. I think that he already moved most of the army from there, but
Mm-hmm.
the con work. They said that Sunday they are going to talk. They have more talks with
More talks.
Whitecoff.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? This guy, this emissary of Trump, Whitecoff, I think. Anyway, he knew Trump, And he still did that, which that's cool
Right.
because they were sleeping in
Well,
their beds.
of course, they can't disclose all the information to the public, or
Yes,
otherwise it
yes,
defeats the whole purpose.
yes.
I want to switch really quick because I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I want to know, how do you feel? How do people feel on a day-to-day basis living there? What's your daily routine? I know
Okay,
it's mhm,
okay. Okay, personally, I'm between jobs, so I'm not working these months. So
mhm.
I wanted to travel Europe and I had a flight canceled, which really not really nice because instead of uh, instead of being in Europe traveling, I'm here and not working, but not traveling. So I'm just home watching TV. The routine is really not nice because usually there is one, two, three sirens once a day, and they love to make it in the middle of the night. So I don't have the whole night like really night. Yesterday it was 2:30 in the night, and
Meaning the
but
missiles coming at night is what you're talking about.
not always, but mostly there is one or two times that they wake you up.
Hmm.
And unlike Hamas, when it was just siren and you had 2 minutes to run, because Iran is so far, I think it's 2,000 kilometers.
Hmm.
I don't remember how much is it in miles, but kilometers, 2,000 kilometers. Or the missile takes like 10 minutes. So we have a warning from the second that they are launched. So we have 10 minutes. It's funny because we had 2 minutes with Hamas. From Iran, you can go to the restroom, you can freshen up,
Right.
and then you go. Well, in my case, the safe room is just outside my apartment. There's some people that need to run to a public shelter. They don't have it in their house. For me, it's really like easy. I'm just freshen up and go to meet my neighbors in the safe room of the floor. There's a few dogs, really nice. I got used to the dogs. I got used to me. That's and then we go back to sleep. But still, you don't sleep a big night, right?
Right.
And except from that I can't sleep long nights. I need to think when I go out. If there is a siren when you're in the car, you can't stay in the car. So I'm not going too much. I mean, if I want to help my mother, like I will do this week, I go with her. So I risk it a bit because it's not safe like being at home. So
Right.
every place you go, you need to think where is you go to the gym, where is the safe
Where's
room?
the nearest safe room?
Yes.
What's the average length of time you would say that you would be in the safe room?
For me, for me, it's just like next to my door, so it's
Mhm.
like 1 minute. So no problem for me. But there's some
No, I don't. I
people
don't
that
mean getting there. I mean, would you be in there waiting until
okay,
safety?
okay, okay, okay. So usually you have 2 minutes between the siren and until it hits, and then because we have interceptors, it's like you have like 20 minutes that things can fall. And when you say things can fall, it can fall and kill you. It's not like small,
Right,
tiny
not little
things.
particles, but you're
Yeah,
talking about shrapnel in large sizes.
meters, meters,
Yeah, yeah.
meters. It can kill you. So you stay. Usually it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, sometimes more if there's another siren while you're still there. So usually it's 20, but I'll tell you a secret. I have a good Wi-Fi in the safe room
Hmm.
outside the apartment because it's just next to my apartment.
In your
So
apartment,
I have good Wi-Fi
you
there
have
because it's my
access.
my Wi-Fi.
Good.
It's my
Can I
Wi-Fi.
Let me ask you something? I don't want
Yeah,
to intervene, but is there any way we
yeah.
could take a walk in there and look? Is that I don't want to get if that's
Yes, we can.
okay. I don't
Just
want
a
to get
second.
you in trouble, or I
No, no,
don't
no,
want
no, no.
to.
It's
Okay.
okay. No, no trouble.
Or
Just a
impede
second.
into your personal.
Yeah.
But I think
No, no.
people would
It's
like to
not.
know
It.
what it would be.
Yeah. It's not personal.
Okay.
Okay. Just a second. So. Partner. Going out. Da, 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 da. Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
And it looks like that. And actually, you can have hair for this thing from this thing.
Okay. All right.
And I'm going out because the reception is not so good there. So I didn't want us to
That's
get
good.
disconnect. Okay, so you saw how it looks.
Is that
Anything else?
no? Is there? I mean, do you take water? What do you take when you go in there? What's the normal thing? You're
Okay.
expecting to be there for maybe an hour or so. Is that what it is? And then,
No, actually, in the first days, I actually took alcohol. I took every siren. It was like 3 sirens that day. I took vodka cranberries. And because you have 10 minutes, I can prepare it. So I make vodka cranberries at the second and the third. And don't tell anyone, but there was another siren in the morning. And then I didn't wake up.
oh wow, yeah,
I almost didn't wake up. I
right.
didn't wake up by the 10 minutes. I woke up by the siren.
How
But
do you
still.
how do you feel? I mean, it's like because you're living on alert all the time. I know living here in New York, once 9/11 happened, everybody was sort of disheveled. We were in high alert for a long time. And I know how I felt living here in New York when 9/11 happened, the World Trade bombing. It was anxious. We felt, so much discomfort. Um, but we also felt a sense of community because everybody had experienced that whole 9/11 thing. So, people were kinder, people were nicer, people were more concerned. There was much more community. But at the same time, we were nervous. We didn't know what was going to happen next. How do you think people feel there on a day-to-day basis? How do people cope with what's going on?
Well, the thing is that it's not like you just started the war because we're 600 days like this.
True.
There's some
Yes.
better days. There were worse days. In the last year, Hamas almost doesn't shoot anything because they almost doesn't have anything. They don't have anything. That's why I told you don't need to stay in this war. You just stay, and soldiers die there for nothing these days because of him. I'm sorry to say that.
Yes.
And hostages dead because of him.
Right.
And I think that we're used to it. Now it's worse because it's not like Hamas missiles. It's huge missiles. Even my mother that didn't want to leave her house to 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 a house with a safe room, when she saw on TV the damage, uh, the damage
Hmm.
here, um, she understood that she needs to be in a safer place. And I was really happy because I was not terrified about me. I was terrified about her that doesn't have a safe room. And she said, oh, it will be okay. Then she saw the big missiles. It's like 5 times bigger than the ones of Hamas. She understood she needs to go. So I'm relieved. I was really stressed out just because of my mother. I didn't
Right.
want to lose her. Very important for me.
Hmm.
Now all my family has safe places, which is really makes me feel calmer. So I'm okay. I'm used to live here in wars, I'm actually really excited that finally we do what we should have make uh, years ago. Because again, Iran was conniving all the time. She lied to all the world that she doesn't want to have an atomic bomb. They almost have an atomic bomb.
Right.
So I'm relieved. I support it. And I'm waiting, like you have no idea, for the election 26, where we will get rid of Bibi Netanyahu. I think that he's to blame for all our problems. It will be the happiest day of my life when he will go away.
Well,
It's really important for me to emphasize because I want your listeners to understand that most Israelis don't support him. Okay, it's important that they won't think that all Israelis are like they want wars, wars, wars. No, most Israelis are logic, liberal, smart, educated. Especially after 7 of October, he doesn't. I'm sorry, 7 of October. Uh, he doesn't have the support. He's afraid. He's afraid from the election. That's why he delayed and delayed and delayed the investigation and gives anyone to his friends in the government, all the extremists, just for his government not to fall. But 26, there will be an election and we'll have a brand new day. Really, I'm
well,
optimistic.
I listen, we have a similar problem here in the United States.
I know, I know. I didn't want to say anything.
We're
I'm not intervening in
that's
your politics.
I
That's your
know.
business.
Listen, yeah, I won't even get into detail about that one. But I do want to say that we're going to insert some video here that you took along the way and let people know.
Hi, I'm in one of the streets of Tel Aviv where one of the Iranian missiles fell. You see these buildings were ruined completely. As they will need to be evacuated, destroyed completely. On the other side you see all the damage. Everything is broken. Yeah. First time I passed because I went to the gym. close by. So first time I saw that with my own eyes. Yes, very main place here in Tel Aviv.
Took along the way, and let people know some of the damage that's happened there, and what you felt when you walked by that.
Yeah, first
building.
time that I saw that, I went to my gym, and I saw that. And by the way, even a few hundred meters from there, I still saw glasses shattered from the blood. From the shock. Don't know how to say that.
From the window.
Yes.
Of the shop. Yeah.
But yeah, it's really, and this is the place that I pass every time I go there to the gym, and yes. So you can show that, but remember, it's not all of Tel Aviv. It's like a few small places like this. So don't worry, we are good and we're strong. And I miss New York, so who knows if I'm going to see you soon.
Well, please come to New York. We miss you here too. Everyone, please, thank you for spending some time here. Time
My pleasure.
Is a valuable thing you can give, so I appreciate it. Tell everybody where they can find you, where they can connect with you on social media if they want to find out more, if they want to see what you're up to. Because I know you travel a lot too. You have a lot of good things on your social media about your trips.
Well, I can give you my Instagram. You can write it on here.
Yep, I'll put it down in the episode notes if you don't know it offhand. So everyone, make sure.
I have it. You can look in the Instagram Tal Tal Marcu Tal Marcu
on Instagram. Tal Marcu on Instagram.
Yes.
Everyone, thank you, Tal, once again for spending some time here at One Mic Night. We're One Mic Night talking. You guys know who I am. It's Marcos Luis. Please make sure you like this episode, share this episode, and leave some comments down below. What do you think about what's going on in the world with Israel, with Iran, with war? Please, let's start the conversation. Come on over to One Mic Night on Facebook. Like the Facebook page. And thank you for making this a top 40 podcast on Spotify. Really appreciate it. ONEMICNITE is the name of the podcast. I'm MARCOS LUIS. Thank you for joining me. See you next time. Bye-bye.